North Korea is often described as the most isolated and tightly controlled country on Earth, ruled by absolute fear and unquestioned loyalty to its supreme leader, Kim Jong Un. Countless reports from defectors, intelligence agencies, journalists, and human rights organizations have painted a picture of a nation where the government dictates nearly every aspect of daily life. From how people think and speak to how they dress, mourn, travel, and even dispose of human waste, nothing is beyond state control. Stories emerging from inside the country often sound unreal, but together, they form a consistent pattern of extreme authoritarian rule designed to maintain power through terror, isolation, and psychological conditioning. One of the most shocking allegations associated with Kim Jong Un is the reported execution of high-ranking officials for minor acts of perceived disloyalty. In 2015, South Korean intelligence agencies claimed that North Korea's defense minister Hyun Yong-kol was executed in front of more than 100 officials using an anti-aircraft gun. His alleged crime was falling asleep during a meeting while Kim Jong Un was speaking. Whether every detail of this account can be independently verified or not, what matters is that such stories are widely believed inside and outside the country, and belief itself reinforces fear. In North Korea, body language alone can be interpreted as treason. Looking bored, distracted, or insufficiently enthusiastic during a leader's speech can cost someone their life. Fear does not stop at officials. It defines the lives of ordinary citizens. One of the most basic requirements for every household is the mandatory display of portraits of the country's leaders, specifically Kim Jong Un's father and grandfather. These portraits must be hung at the highest point on the wall, above all other items. Nothing is allowed to be placed above them, not even certificates or decorations. Failure to comply is considered a political crime. Police conduct regular inspections of homes to ensure the portraits are present, properly positioned, and perfectly clean. Dust on a portrait can result in punishment. The government even provides a special white cloth meant only for cleaning these images. Using any other cloth is forbidden. A heartbreaking case reported just before the COVID-19 pandemic illustrates how extreme this rule is. A woman left her home briefly, during which a fire broke out. When she returned and saw smoke, she rushed inside and managed to save her 2 children, but in the chaos, she failed to rescue the portraits of the leaders. Despite saving human lives, she was arrested and imprisoned because, in the eyes of the state, protecting the leader's image was more important than anything else. In North Korea, loyalty to the ruling family is not symbolic. It is enforced with real, devastating consequences. Personal freedom in North Korea is virtually non-existent, even when it comes to something as simple as appearance. Hairstyles are regulated by the state. Men are allowed to choose only from a list of around 10 approved haircuts, while women are limited to roughly 18. Any deviation is illegal, especially styles associated with foreign or Western culture. Copying Kim Jong Un's hairstyle is considered one of the most serious offenses of all, as it is seen as an attempt to imitate or mock the supreme leader. Barbers are trained to enforce these rules, and citizens are routinely checked by authorities for compliance. Even names are subject to state control. After Kim Jong Un took power in 2011, reports emerged that people whose names closely resembled his were ordered to change them. The idea was that only the leader should carry such a name, reinforcing his uniqueness and authority. Similar restrictions have reportedly been applied to protect the names of other members of the ruling family, including Kim Jong Un's daughter. In a system like this, even your identity is not truly your own. Another pillar of control is mandatory military service. In North Korea, nearly everyone is a soldier. Men are typically required to serve around 10 years, while women serve approximately 7 years. Although there are rare exceptions for severe health issues or extraordinary academic talent, most citizens have no choice. Military service is not just about defense. It is a tool for indoctrination, discipline, and surveillance. From a young age, citizens are taught that their primary purpose is to serve the state and its leader. Perhaps the most terrifying law reported in North Korea is the so-called 3-generation punishment rule. Under this system, if one person commits a political crime, their parents and children can also be punished, often with imprisonment or forced labor. The idea is to eliminate dissent not only by punishing individuals, but by destroying entire family lines. One of the most tragic aspects of this rule is that children born in prison camps inherit their sentence automatically, even though they committed no crime. They grow up knowing nothing but captivity, hunger, and fear. Public mourning is another area where the state exerts total control. When a leader dies or when the anniversary of a leader's death arrives, citizens are required to participate in extended periods of mourning that can last up to 10 days. During this time, laughing, celebrating, drinking alcohol, dancing, shopping, or even speaking loudly is forbidden. People must display visible sorrow. Ironically, crying too loudly can also be punished if it appears insincere or disruptive. If someone's birthday falls during the mourning period, it cannot be celebrated. If a family member dies during these days, even a funeral must be postponed until the mourning period ends, forcing families to keep bodies at home. Movement within the country is also tightly restricted. Travel between cities requires official permission, and living in the capital city of Pyongyang is considered a privilege reserved for the most loyal and elite citizens. Ordinary people cannot simply decide to move or visit. The capital is designed to project an image of prosperity and order, hiding the poverty and hardship faced by most of the population elsewhere. Leaving the country is one of the gravest crimes imaginable. North Koreans are not allowed to travel abroad freely, and attempts to escape are met with brutal punishment. Those caught trying to flee can be executed on the spot, especially near the border. If someone manages to escape but leaves family behind, their relatives may still be punished under the three-generation rule. Despite these dangers, more than 30,000 people have reportedly escaped North Korea since the Korean War, most through China and then onward to other countries. Each escape represents extraordinary risk, planning, and desperation. One of the most dramatic escape stories involves a North Korean soldier who attempted to defect across the heavily fortified border separating North and South Korea. In 2017, he drove a vehicle at high speed through a military checkpoint toward the demilitarized zone. When his vehicle crashed, he ran on foot while being shot by fellow soldiers. He was hit multiple times but survived after South Korean forces pulled him across the border. His escape was captured on camera and shocked the world, offering a rare glimpse into the lethal consequences of attempting to flee. Despite calling itself a democratic republic, North Korea's elections are purely symbolic. Voting is mandatory for all citizens over a certain age, but there is only one political party and one candidate. Not voting is considered suspicious and potentially criminal. As a result, official election results always show nearly 100% voter turnout with nearly 100% support for the leader. These numbers are used as propaganda to claim unanimous public approval, even though citizens have no real choice. Religion is effectively banned. The state promotes an ideology in which the ruling family is treated as godlike. Religious texts, such as the Bible, are illegal, and possessing them can lead to arrest or execution. Several foreign visitors have been detained for religious reasons, including leaving religious materials behind unintentionally. For the state, loyalty to Kim Jong Un replaces faith. Belief in anything else is considered a threat. One of the strangest and most disturbing practices involves triplets. In North Korea, triplets are considered extremely lucky but not for the parents. When triplets are born, the state reportedly takes the children away and raises them in government-run institutions. Parents are given gifts as compensation, but they lose the right to raise their own children. Many observers believe this practice exists not only because of superstition, but also as a way to weaken family bonds and ensure that loyalty flows only toward the state. Communication with the outside world is severely restricted. International phone calls are illegal, and those caught making them have reportedly been publicly executed. Mobile phone networks exist, but they are tightly monitored and disconnected from the global internet. Border areas are equipped with signal jammers to prevent unauthorized communication. The goal is total isolation, preventing information from entering or leaving the country. Foreign movies, music, and television shows are banned. Watching South Korean dramas or Western films is considered a serious crime. In some reported cases, teenagers have been sentenced to years of hard labor simply for consuming foreign media. Despite this, some citizens secretly watch smuggled content using USB drives, fully aware that discovery could cost them their freedom or their lives. Satellite images of Earth at night reveal one of the most striking visual symbols of North Korea's condition. While neighboring countries shine brightly with city lights, North Korea appears almost completely dark. Chronic electricity shortages plague the nation. Power is prioritized for the military, government facilities, and elite neighborhoods in Pyongyang, leaving most citizens with little or no electricity. In some rural areas, electricity may be available only a few hours per year. Economic isolation has also led to extreme agricultural challenges. Due to fertilizer shortages, the government has reportedly forced citizens to provide human waste for use as fertilizer. People are given quotas that are nearly impossible to meet. Those who cannot comply may be punished or forced to pay bribes. In summer months, residents are allegedly required to dry human waste in their yards, creating severe health and sanitation problems. One of the most internationally known cases highlighting North Korea's brutality is that of Otto Warmbier, an American college student who visited the country as a tourist in late 2015. In early 2016, he was arrested at the airport while attempting to leave and accused of stealing a propaganda poster from his hotel. He was forced to give a televised confession and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. After 15 months in detention, he was released in a coma and died shortly after returning to the United States. His case severely damaged relations between North Korea and the U.S. and became a symbol of the regime's cruelty toward even foreign visitors. Tensions between North and South Korea remain high to this day. In recent years, North Korea has even used trash balloons, sending balloons filled with garbage across the border, as a form of psychological warfare. Such actions may seem absurd, but they underscore how hostility and provocation are woven into daily policy decisions. In the end, what emerges from all these stories is a portrait of a nation where fear replaces freedom and obedience replaces choice. North Korea is not just a dictatorship. It is a system designed to control thought, emotion, family, and identity itself. For those living inside, survival depends on absolute conformity. For those watching from outside, it stands as a stark reminder of how power, when unchecked, can erase humanity itself.